let's get into this football real quick before we call it a night, shut it down. So the Chiefs have, I mean, for all intents and purposes, right? They're done with free agency. They're probably turning towards the draft. They get Jawan Taylor. Who are some of the other moves that they've made? They get Jawan Taylor. They signed my guy from Charles Omenihu from San Francisco.
Was it
What did
Edwards
they
from the Ravens safety? Was it?
really?
Edwards is his name? Yeah. I mean, yeah. I think I'm.
Hold on, I don't remember his name either. Now I gotta look it up. It was a player. Oh, Mike Edwards from
Yeah,
Tampa Bay.
yeah.
Mike Edwards from Tampa Bay.
Tampa. Yeah, I
Absolutely,
can't remember.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm like, as I started to type it in, it came back to me. So I wanted to have you on to ask a couple of questions. One, I think Frank Clark had some tweets that to me were kind of subtweets towards the Chiefs about them not re-signing him, about some of the things that he fought through to get back on the field and injuries he played through, and he feeling like he was not being off of fair market value. You look at some of these other players who have left, who are, McCole leaving. You have Frank Clark leaving, right? You look at um, OBJ, Orlando Brown Jr., leaving, right? Some of these guys have been key contributors to championship teams who they have not repaid. And I want to shout out to MC Reach, Reach on Twitter. He talked about that the Chiefs might be getting this reputation for being cheap and not wanting to re-sign and not valuing their own players and wanting to bring them back. So I wanted to get your thoughts on, do you think that Brett Veach is cutting, not valuing his own players enough and letting them walk in free agency?
I won't say he's not valuable. I think he is very like budget conscious. I will call him. He has his price. Anybody who operates in a strict budget like me, like I don't operate a strict budget. Once the bills is paid, let's ball out, right? It's not the way you probably should be. Don't be like Reese, right? Don't do that, right? Like that's not the way you should be. Beach is like bills is paid, but I got to make sure we straight 3 to 4, 5, 6, 7. That's what good GMs do, right? So he's like, here's my price. We winning. You can take this price and stay and keep winning, or you can bounce and see what it's like on the other side, right? The moment that he traded Tyreek Hill, everybody else should have been like, I'm expendable. The moment that he was like, hey, Tyreek Hill, this is my price, basically second highest paid receiver in the league, and Tyreek Hill like, I want to be first, and Beach like, no, well, that's what you want. Man, you come get mad. Cool, I'm gone. Like that's where it is. Like I feel like, and then people, what I think really what happens is Veach has his hard price, and then when people win Super Bowls, their value goes up too, and they feel like I just won the championship. Frank Clark, I just made all these sacks and plays in the playoffs. I've shown what I can do. So
Mhm.
here we go. Pay me. All of them. Warren Thornhill, McCole Hardman, like all these guys just came off Super Bowls. Colin Saunders, like who played decent and good in certain areas to help the Chiefs. But it's like you do this, and now you're a Super Bowl winner. You want to be paid like a Super Bowl winner. And guess what? We can't pay everybody. And Veach does a good job of preparing for departure before departure happens.
Yeah.
So honestly, the moment they took Cook in the second round of safety, I don't care how good of a season Thornhill had, he was gone. Right. Once Cook showed that he can come in and do decent, they're like, all right, we think we all right here. The moment Karlaftis got drafted first round, they're like, all right, Frank, you took a pay cut, but still your number is this high. We want to keep you, but we want to keep you at this price. If you feel like you value more than that, go see. What we're seeing right now is he's getting that veteran DN treatment like a Carlos Dunlap, a Melvin Ingram. That's the type of treatment he's probably getting in free agency, which probably will get him landed, if not back with the Chiefs, somewhere else on a 1 year, 2 year deal for the rest of his career, like a Justin Houston. Like that's where it's at. You're 30 years old, basically going into next season. You know, you haven't produced that much during the season. And I like Frank Clark. I have grown to like Frank Clark because I thought we should have got rid of him last year. This year, he came in more mature. His mentality and mindset kind of changed. You can see what he's pouring in. I want Frank Clark back with the Chiefs, but it's a price. I don't feel like Beach is being cheap. Beach is like, first of all, I got to stay young, and I think that's that's the biggest thing. Is like I got to stay young. Juju, you did cool. You didn't do great. So here's the price. Like you didn't break 1,000 yards. You was often injured. So we want to keep you, but we want to keep you at this price. You want more than this? Appreciate your time. Like, and that's how I gotta be. McCole, hey, you did some valuable things for us, but you never were like a star. Like none of these people that's leaving, if we're being honest, outside of the Tyreek Hill trade, Frank Clark, listen, bro, you can't complain. You got your bread off some subpar seasons, if we being honest. Like you got paid. Orlando Brown Jr. Like the market showed that the Chiefs was right. That's my thing. Is like if you really look at where all these players are going and the money that they got, none of them got bread. The Chiefs could have brought probably each one of them back for the same price they got on free agent. So the Chiefs is like, if that's what you got, we could have brought you back for that. But we've been the ones having you made you into this. Yeah, you should give us a little hometown discount because we need the cap space. If you don't, cool. And the market showed Juan Thornhill didn't get no big payday. Colin Saunders got a solid payday for what he does, but it wasn't a huge payday. Like it wasn't Juju's payday wasn't great. Like all of them was just fair market deals. So to me, when it happens like that, Orlando Brown should have took the deal last year the Chiefs gave him because this deal he just took was way underneath that. It's like it proves that Veach has valued these people, in my opinion, in the right manner. Now, should he pay to keep some people around to show people that you take care of your own? Yes, I think he'll show that. Hopefully, with Chris Jones, I'm still waiting on that. You know, I think now if he lets Chris Jones walk, then I'm gonna jump on board with y'all and be like, yeah, he might be a little cheap, right? But if he takes care of like you only got so much money you go around. And if you look at every team from big contracts, you only gonna see 3 to 4 to 5, really. And that's just Patrick Mahomes is one right now. Taylor, the one we just brought in is one. Tooney's getting paid bread. Right. So you got that right there in three players. Then you got Chris Jones getting paid bread. So you got four really big contracts with some other people that's coming up that you have to make a decision on, like a L'Jarius Sneed. We grateful to get Travis Kelce at some of the discounted rate that we've been getting with him. So you only can pay so many. You got all these rookies that just played. They're gonna come up for some contracts. You got to think about that.
True, true, true. I mean, I am surprised that they let Saunders walk simply because I thought he seemed to be better in run defense than Nadi had been. Like I felt like at a
Yeah,
certain point, Saunders had replaced Nadi on the line, and
absolutely.
because he would show himself to be a better run defender, and
I
because of
don't feel
his
like
ability
Nani's
as a
even.
pass
I
rusher.
don't feel like Saunders even touched it. I think he's still trending up. Like I don't feel like because he had a couple of injury seasons. Like last year was his first full season. Wow, he started looking better as the season went. Um, I was mad they brought Nadi back, but he gave him a player deal. Nadi, Saunders was like, nah, I got to go chance to get some bread. I'm gonna go get my bread. I'm not mad at him. I wish we'd have kept one over the other, but there's no way Saunders takes the deal that we just gave Nadi.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So going into the draft, what positions still need shoring up? Whether it be we need to find someone who could be a potential starter, or for depth purposes.
I think you go edge. I think that's the biggest to me. I think you got to go edge first round. And I know a lot of people are screaming offensive tackle, offensive tackle. I feel like the Chiefs, honestly, um, are okay with Name. He had the injury because he was starting before he got the injury. He wasn't doing bad. He wasn't doing bad. Wiley didn't take his spot. He got injured, and Wiley got put in there. And Wiley just had such a solid season, right? That they like because we could have resigned Wiley. We like, nope. I think they are okay with Name. I think they'll draft a tackle, most likely a swing tackle, somebody that's played both in college that can go left or right. And in that way, if our guy Taylor doesn't pan out on the left side, they're okay. So I really think that's the route there. I think edge would be first. I think receiver comes second. I think they're gonna go get them a guy in the second round and probably trade up and try to get them a receiver and get a true X guy this time. Since they haven't really had that since Sammy Watkins. I think edge and receiver are either gonna go first and second round. Um, I really would love to see them trade up in the first round and go get them a receiver. I feel like this draft is a little deeper in edge, and you can find a solid edge guy in the second and third. Um, Receivers, man, it's a couple of, I would say, receivers that come with different skill sets, but not full all around
Yeah.
receivers out there, right? So I wouldn't, it was Trey Palmer. I wouldn't be mad at him. He brings a lot to the table that may be there in the fourth or fifth, but he's not going to be that every down guy coming out the gate. I think you got to go get somebody that can come in and start right away. Honestly, is what they need. Like I like Tony, but injury prone. We've seen that MVS is every the person we thought he was. Like he gonna show flashes, but then he gonna show drops and all of that. And I mean, I'm high on Sky Moore, but I think even that Sky Moore ceiling, we're looking at an 800, 900-yard guy. I think Sky Moore can give you what Juju gave. I really do. He runs the intermediate short routes well. So, um, I think receiver, edge, and then I think they'll still go. I actually think they'll go cornerback pretty higher than what most people are thinking. I really do. I think they'll go cornerback probably third or fourth round. I don't think most people are thinking that because they're like, oh, Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams, they played great, but the cornerback position is so volatile. And if they go high, I think it's because they're going to let Snead walk at the free agent. If they don't go high, then they probably have a plan to resign Snead. If we don't see Snead resign before the draft and they go cornerback high, bye to Snead at the end of the year. I guarantee it.
I hope not. I hope not. I hope
Beach has a pattern, man. If he drafts that position high and somebody coming on a contract year, he's drafting their replacement. He is drafting their replacement. Like he does it. He does it faithfully. He did it with linebackers 2 years in a row with Gay and with Bolton. Both people that was in front of them, veterans, gone. He did it with Cook this year for Thornhill. He tried to do it at receiver with Moore and with Hartman, right? Like he does it. His second round can kind of tell you. First round is normally like let's fulfill a need. Like we got this immediate need. We need to fill this, best available, but it's gonna fulfill a need. Second round is like who coming up on the contract year that we might not re-sign that we can go young here. Consistently happens.
By the way, I hate the detour because I do have one last question before we end this, but I'm looking at this Kansas City Chiefs report card, and they rank 29th. This is from the NFLPA survey. They rank 29th. And I make this joke all the time about Brett Veach being cheap. I have been saying Brett Veach is cheap for a couple of years now. I've said there's nothing Brett Veach loves more than the open box special. He probably, when he needs a new refrigerator, he probably goes to that back part of Nebraska Furniture Mart, and he like, okay, that refrigerator got a little ding on the left side, but it's gonna be against the wall. So I'll take that. So I'm looking at this report card, and I mean, maybe this cheap tag needs to go to Lamar. I mean, not Lamar, to Clark Hunt instead of Brett Veach. Maybe Brett Veach is just carrying out the boss's orders. So I'm looking at some of these things, right? They're showing that they certain players have roommates. Less than 50% of players feel they have enough room to be comfortable on flights. The training table room was said not to be well maintained.
Yeah.
They had some things to say about Rick Burkholder, the strength and conditioning coach is the one who retired, not Rick, right?
Yeah.
But locker room gets a D. Maybe this is, maybe
Hey,
this is
listen,
coming
man,
from up
man,
top.
it's the cost of championships, man.
Oh no, we're not doing that, man. You can't. You
The
making all
wealthiest
this.
people are the cheapest people. LeBron don't even want to look. Hey, real talk. LeBron, like some of the wealthiest
I
people
said
you
he's
would
not
never
paying the
know.
5 for the blue check.
When you look at them, they ain't walking around with Jordans and all of that. They'll have a nice crib and that'll be about it. And they balling.
Man,
LeBron
LeBron
don't
said
want to play for a check. His Pandora still got commercials.
that cracked me up. Like, come on, man.
Like
Like, there are
he a
certain things you just
billionaire.
can't be cheap on. Like
Nah,
LeBron be walking
man.
around with in some off whites, but don't want to pay for the Pandora. No, I'm not trying to hear that, bro. Like,
That's how
there's a
you do. My
nah,
lady
you
can
being a
afford
cheapskate.
everything. She still don't want to pay for a premium Pandora.
You being a cheapskate, man. You're being a cheapskate, man. Get the Pandora without the ads, bro. Like, come
Nah,
on, you worth
man.
$1 billion, and you talking about I ain't paying the 5 for the Twitter. Man, pay the 5 for the Twitter.
Don't
Cut it
pay the
out.
fine, LeBron. You deserve to get your blue check without paying Elon Musk.
I mean, that's also true. I agree with that at the same time. But if anybody can afford it, it's him. I don't know, man. Come on.
I gotta have my premium Spotify. I tried it. I canceled it. I let it cancel one time, like here recently. I'm like, you know what? My lady, she let her commercials come on and she's fine. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try this. I let the Spotify go ahead and cancel. One day went by of commercials and me not being able to pick the direct song that I wanted to listen to. Not only did I sign me up, I signed up for a joint account. Said, baby, here you go. Like we gotta we got to count like sign up, no more commercial. I couldn't do it. I don't look. I don't see how they do it, man.
Man, listen, I have YouTube Premium, and we're gonna move on to this last question. I got YouTube Premium. And like, the podcast page does not have the YouTube. This my personal account has YouTube Premium. And so, I switch back and forth to post content, do the shorts, whatever. And so sometimes I click on a video and forget to get back to that premium, and that ad start playing. I say, oh no, no, no.
Oh
We got
no. Oh no.
main account, main account. I don't need the ads. I don't need the ads. I want to be able to
Ass
listen to it without
ass mess up
watching
the
it.
groove at night.
Oh my
You know what I'm
God.
saying? You trying to get in the groove, and here come this commercial that ain't got nothing to do with your playlist.
Oh, gee, that's hilarious. But yeah, so final question, man. We're gonna get you out of here. So, final question. You talked about the draft. Who are some of the names? I know you're working on some draft stuff for Arrowhead Pride. So, who are some of the names that you've seen as you've gone through your draft prep that you are intrigued by?
Oh man, I am high on Felix. Is it? I'm gonna call him FAU from K State.
I know you're talking
Uh,
about.
yeah, I do K Uzama. I'll take a stab at it. I am high on
I'm
him.
gonna say Felix and Aduke Uzama.
Yeah, him. I wouldn't if he's there at 31. I know he's probably ranked a little bit to go early second round, but if he's there at 31, I take him. Already kind of talked about Trey Palmer. Blazing speed, fastest 40 in the combine. Stretches the field, tracks the ball really well. I think losing Tyreek Hill and losing McCole back to back. I feel like Tony is more shifty and quick than he is fast. So I
Mm-hmm.
think you need to go get you a speed receiver. I am huge on Keaton Mitchell, man, out of East Carolina. I would love to see him in a later round. I think he'll be there around 5 or 6. I think he brings a dynamic to our running back room that we haven't had in a long time. Um, yeah, them was probably like the ones that I'm probably been highest on. Um, coming out of the draft that I think that will be there. That's kind of the key of what I've been looking at. Like who may be there for the Chiefs to be able to take. I wouldn't mind saying like if Cam Smith is sitting there at corner, I listen. I wouldn't be mad if they took him in the first round. Like I wouldn't be mad at it. So yeah,
All right, so I would throw out one name out there as we get to a close here. You talked about wide receiver; they might trade up. I'm looking at this NFL.com this draft to see exactly where he falls on this list. Wide receiver from Ohio State, Jackson Smith and Jigba Dang. They got him going
listen.
11 to Tennessee.
If they can get him, I am all on board. I just think it will cost too much to go up and
Yeah,
get the man. But
yeah.
he's the best receiver in this draft. That's how I feel about him. I feel
I
like
feel
he is.
like if they can get to like 18, I feel like if you can get to 18, maybe 19, you could kind of justify going up and getting him. Wow,
He
Nolan
ain't gonna be
Smith. They
there.
got him going 19th.
I don't think
Wow.
he's gonna be there. That's what like I think he's gonna go top 15.
I mean, look, in this mock, he's 11 to Tennessee.
Yeah, I just did a mock like literally right before we joined. Let me see where he went on this mock real quick that I just did. I'll go. Oh, man, it
So
ain't
I'm
let me.
looking. While you do that,
Okay,
I'm going to check out ESPN here, see where they got him going.
okay. He went on the mock draft I did. He went 11 on here to Tennessee.
Yeah, maybe they know. Maybe he's been made a promise because they got him going to Tennessee on this ESPN one too. So
Like
maybe it's one of those
Quentin
where
Johnston probably is a more realistic option out of TCU. I literally just wrote about him because the Chiefs have him coming in for one of their top 30 visits. Um, I like him. I just don't feel like he plays to his potential for his size. But he's
Mhm.
probably more realistic. He's been going around the between like the 17 and 20 on most mock drafts I've been doing and seeing. Jordan and Addison. I'm not. I just don't like USC guys, but I wouldn't be mad at it. Zay Flowers, I just don't. I love Zay Flowers. I think Zay Flowers is nice. I just don't want another small receiver.
I saw Zay Flowers 2 years ago, and I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah.
By the way, we're gonna close on this. We closing out on this. I don't know if this is true or not, and I retweeted it, but I saw a report that Bryce Young is being brought to Kansas City for an interview with the Chiefs, and I'm like,
No,
somebody,
there's no way they waste 30 a top 30 visit on a quarterback.
can I just let's close the show on this, and I hate to close on what for you is going to be a negative note. Let's just say Roger Goodell walks to the podium and announces at the beginning of the draft, we would like to announce a trade. At number one, the Kansas City Chiefs have traded Patrick Mahomes to the Carolina Panthers in exchange for the first overall pick this year, first overall pick next year, first overall pick 3 years down the road, and three number twos. In Kansas City, this happens. What just this I can't do this without laughing. What is the response
There
from the
will be a riot at Union Station. They will tear Kansas City up. That draft was going to be over. It's done. It ain't enough. It ain't enough policemen, mace, guard dogs. If they walk to that podium in Kansas City and trade Patrick Mahomes, I don't care what you got for him. This city will. It's gonna be a riot. Buildings getting burnt down. TVs getting looted. Bro, I promise you. I'm gonna have me a flat screen. They do that. Couple of. I'm looting too. Like that, if they trade Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City deserves to burn to the ground.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm
Oh man.
immediately a fan of the Carolina Panthers.
Oh God. Now I just want it to happen just so I can see the reaction. Oh man. All right, man. That's Reese Nichols, contributor to Arrowhead Pride, one of the co-hosts of Talk That Real podcast, man. You can find that podcast wherever you get the good podcast. You also did, what was the name of the one you do with Arrowhead Pride? What's the name of that one so I can have people check that out?
Kingdom Keys is the one we do during the season. I've been on. We got a bunch of different draft ones we do. So I've been on a couple for the draft, but Veach season is one of them that we just been on. So yeah.
So yeah, check that out. Also, wherever you get the good podcast, you can check out his writings at Arrowhead Pride, the SB Nation site. So just Google Arrowhead Pride, you'll be able to find it. And yeah, man, I appreciate you. Until next time, it's been a black and white thing. Please remember, you can check out every episode of our show, like wherever you find podcasts like Talk That Real. Give us 5 stars. Thank you guys for watching and staying on with us. You can also find us on YouTube by searching that Brains and Bars. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I am awardmerch.com. I am award.com for all things award related. And until next time, man, we holler at y'all. Y'all take it easy.
Holla.
All right.